All right, examples of taking away a negative. This is a little bit harder to assume, but I think by contrast to some examples that obviously we can't do with human children, again for grave moral reasons here. But there are experiments that have been done with rats that if you put the rats in a maze, and of course behaviorists are all about putting rats in a maze and teaching them to run through the maze effectively. If you give a positive, the example would be, you have a piece of cheese at the end of the maze, and then the sooner the rat learns to get through the maze, the rat gets the reward. So the positive piece of cheese here. You can invert that by one experiment I remember reading about, making the whole floor of the maze be an electrified sheet of metal, and then you've got the maze imposed upon that. So as soon as you put the rat on or into the maze, the rat is experiencing electrical shocks, and so is experiencing pain and discomfort. And then the sooner the rat figures out how to get to the maze, when he gets out of it, he's into the safe zone. He's no longer electrified. And so the reward, so to speak, is the removal of, or the taking away of, a negative here. So it might then be a matter of removing some sort of pain. Right? And we do know that this is an operative circumstance under some educational models where the normal circumstance of the schooling situation is that the students don't want to be there, they are uncomfortable, but as a reward, what we might do if they behave appropriately is take away something from them that they take to be a negative. So we might, for example, say getting recess is removal of a painful state. You're getting out of the uncomfortable situation of being in school, and you get to go out and enjoy yourself in recess. So recess could also be down here if one characterizes it from that particular context. Some teachers, or professors, I'm not a big fan of this model myself here, but they will do something similar in the case of exams. What they will say is, taking tests, doing assignments, exams, and so forth, all of that is painful. Students don't want to engage in it, so what they will have is a policy of, if you do well on all of your assignments and tests up until the final exam, then you don't have to undergo the ordeal of the final exam. So then again, what you're doing is taking away a negative here. So you eliminate exams based on prior positive performance. Okay, now the idea of this, and this is just a beginning, is that what we should be doing as education professionals, particularly education professionals who are informed by behaviorism, is working out a taxonomy, something like this. And in each of the cells, of the taxonomy, we should have a whole number, of items, a whole repertoire of items that we know fit into that particular category. So we have a whole toolkit, a very full toolkit, and that what we have also done is we independently have experimented with these sorts of things. We're keeping up with the literature where other teachers are reporting on their experiments with these things. Educational psychologists who are behaviorists are experimenting with various kinds of packages here. And so we're constantly incorporating new elements into each parts of these grids. And then we also have a fairly worked out schedule so that we know if it's this kind of circumstance, I'm going to give praise, but then I'm going to give praise 3 times running, but then not praise for the next little time. I might switch to gold stars, or I might switch to grades, or I might work in various combinations over here. There are diminishing returns to the repeated uses of any of these particular things. So I've got, for my first graders, a worked out repertoire. I've got for my second graders a worked out repertoire. And I'm constantly tweaking it and incorporating and adapting and so forth as my profession goes on. That is scientific. Here are all of the stimuli, and I'm keeping records of what kinds of behaviors they are leading to, which ones they're reinforcing, which ones they're not really reinforcing very well. And so as a result of my scientific record keeping, I am evolving to be a better teacher at generating the right kind of overall stimuli to which the students are exposed, so that by the end of the educational process, they come out behaving the way the educational process says they should be behaving.